Hello, and thanks for coming back and joining me for the Sandy's 13 Frights Before Halloween of 2022, where we're doing 13 projects before Halloween. They're showing, or we're putting them up on Mondays, and there'll be one every week up until Halloween. This is my project 3, and I'm not done. This is just showing you the before. But what we're going to do is I just got this on clearance at Hobby Lobby. And so obviously some of you wouldn't have one of these. So I'm thinking, okay, well, what could you do that would kind of mimic this, but make it easier for you to do this project also? So I happen to have lately thrown away an old frame, and so I kept the back of it. And I thought it might be an easy way to do this, to take chipboard, and you could either paint it, you could cover it with paper, and use this. I didn't cut these, so they're going to be different sizes, but you could glue this on top of this frame, and then you could do that and then cut out a square to put on the middle. So there is a way for you to do this even if you don't have the frame. Just cut equal size pieces of chipboard, and if you wanted, you could make it longer or taller and then put these at a point so that it's going to end up looking like an old fence or gate. So let's go ahead and get started with the project using the decorative piece that I have, but please know that you can also do this using chipboard, and I used an old frame back. You might have another way to do it. So let me put that off to the side. So what I did, this actually started with a burgundy color, and that's didn't fly with what I was going to do. So the first thing I did, I don't know if you can see it very well, is I painted it a dark midnight blue. And I wasn't happy with that, so then I went over with a dry brush and just did a little bit of black, and that was better, but then it was a little bit too dark for me. And so then I just took some gold highlights and put those on there. So then I got it to the color that I was happy with. So the next thing I want to do is in this centerpiece. Now again, if you're using the chipboard, you would have another chipboard square cut out and glued on top of your other pieces. I want to cover that, and I'm using this paper. It's from Country Craft Creations, and I had some left over, and I cut it to size, and mine is about 5 1/8 by 5 1/8. Now I will want to ink my edges so that you don't see any core, the white around the edges, but the first thing I'm going to do is glue that down like so. All right, so I went ahead and used black soot on the outside edges, and I'm just going to use art glitter glue to adhere this to that centerpiece. Let me clear out my glue tip here. All right, so I just want to make sure I get the perimeter real well. Art glitter glue works for just about everything. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and lay this down. And that looks about right. Go ahead and burnish it. Again, if you're using chipboard, you could paint. You could use cardstock. Got a little glue there. You could, I don't know, stain it. All right, so then I wanted to place one of the cut-aparts from the collection that says Happy Haunting, and I'm going to place that closer to the top so that I have room along the edge here to add some decorative elements. So I'm going to go ahead and ink the edges of this. You know, this side looks a little bit bigger, so let me trim that. I want them to be equal. Still bigger. There we go. Okay, let me just make sure I evened it out. Yeah. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and ink the edges. So depending on your collection will obviously determine what color you're going to have around the outside. And then I'm just going to, like I said, place it a little bit closer to the top so I have room at the bottom. And this says Happy Haunting, if I didn't say that already. The excess glue off. Okay, the next thing I am going to do is I have a die. It's an old one of Tim Holtz. It's the Crescent Moon and Stars. And I cut out a, let's see, there you go. I cut this guy out in lightweight chipboard and then in a shiny gold paper. And that's what I'm going to use for the moon. And I'm going to put that off on the corner here. I did a lightweight chipboard just to give it some strength, you know, when you pack it up at the end of the season. So I went ahead and cut that, and I adhered that shiny gold, and I'm going to have this just kind of coming off like so. So I'm not going to be needing glue all the way along the back. I'm basically going to do it from here, and then I can do pretty much all of this. I just got glue there, all the way to the bottom. And let's see if that does the trick. Okay. Push that down. Get rid of any excess glue. And I have a felt bat. And I thought I would kind of cover up this nose because it's not really needed. So I'm going to have the bat coming off to the side. Maybe I want him going down a little bit more, off like that. And I'll just put some glue in the center part. Again, covering up Mr. Moon's nose. Oh, you know what? I don't really like that though, because then you can't see the saying. So there you can still see it. Okay, that'll take a second to dry. And I did want to add just a little bit around the edges of the frame there. So I have 3 stars. Okay, I see 2. Where'd the third one go? Uh-oh, I might have to cut another one out. Did I lose it? Well, crud. I don't see my 3rd star. Well, there's going to be a 3rd star. So I'll put one here and a little one here. And then I had one for down here. Where did that go? Oh, there it is. Found it. And then I'm going to put one down here. Okay, so I don't need them all over the place. And again, I'm just going to use glue. And give that a chance to dry. I thought this would be a nice element to put on your desk during Halloween. Or in your entryway if you have like a table of some sort in the entry of your home. Just have it sitting up there. And one down here. All right, so I went through my stash and I looked for things that I thought would match and add something down here on the corner. So what I found was I still had another one of these brooms, and I got this at Dollar Tree, and I recently went and I saw some, but they were bigger. So maybe as this time gets closer to Halloween, they'll have these small ones. But I thought I would glue that down along the bottom, and I wanted to find some flowers that I thought would coordinate. So I went through my stash, and I have a lot of flowers. And I found these that I am going to attach. Now the reason why I went with this is because that matches the witch's outfit. Yes. And so I thought that would bring that out a little bit. So there's the flowers I chose. And I wanted something kind of frilly, and not frilly, but I wanted something in the background. So I had some eyelash trim that is multicolored. There's some dark brown and gold and kind of a rust color in there. And I have this is a Tim Holtz pumpkin, I think, and it's flat on the back. I cut 3 leaves. I do things in odd numbers, so 3 is a good number. And then I just found a random dark silver and black button that I thought I could add. So I am going to have to cut off the shank of this button, I think. Maybe I don't. I better cut it off just in case. And so then I'm going to just take some time here and start arranging it on the corner to see what it looks like, and then I'll start gluing once I'm happy. So let me cut off the shank. All right, I could not cut that off. That's a good button. It's got a real sturdy shank, so there goes that idea. So the first thing I think needs to go down, I have my glue gun running to get ready, is just to lay that down like so. And I need the bigger flowers placed first, so I'll do one down near the bottom, about right there maybe, and the other large one off to the side a little bit. Let's go tuck a blue one in there. I want the this rusty colored one closer to the witch. And let's put the pumpkin down here. And so I have some empty spots. I'll start filling that in with leaves. Let's see, I think there needs to be one up here. And one down here somewhere. I'll have to tuck that in. And I think I'll put the button right about there. And probably scoot this up a hair and have the broom down here like that. So that's what I'm thinking. And then I'll just glue it down using a hot glue gun. So let's go ahead. I'm happy with that. I'm not going to lie, I spent some time ahead of time rearranging the flowers in different arrangements to see which one I liked best, and this is the one that I liked. So I just did it real quick for you. So let's go ahead. I'm going to take everything off, and now I'll start gluing things down. Now, as a hint, I always take a picture. Once I lay it down the way I like it, I take a picture so I can go back and look at it, so I don't do something that I don't like, or I'm like, wait, what did I just do? So let's go ahead, and I'm going to glue the broom first. And I'm just going to, like I said, use my hot glue gun. Okay. That glue gun gets really hot. So now I'm just going to place this down. And I probably don't need to glue that down just because I'll be gluing flowers on top of it. So let's go ahead and start with that blue one, and about right there. Give this one a second to dry. This one doesn't have a real flat bottom piece, so I'll be tucking with flowers and stuff around it to kind of keep it up. So I think I'll go ahead and do the pumpkin next, just to lay it down right next to it so it keeps it, that blue flower upright. Okay. And I want the other large flower placed next. So obviously this took me some off-camera time. Like I said, I had to paint the frame. And if you're using chipboard, that you're going to have to add some time on, obviously. But it is a fast project, and I think it's cute when it's done. Let's go with the blue flower tucked right about there. Put hot glue on the back of my flowers. Give that a second to dry. And I'll place the rusty colored one. And my button's going to go right in like so. So I hope I can do that without getting glue all over, because I had to leave the shank on. That should work. And I'm going to start tucking these leaves, making sure I have the right side up. This I'll just go ahead and go back to art glitter glue for the leaves. And I just need it on the bottom pieces. I don't need glue on all of it. And I think I wanted one right about here. Is that right? Here. I think I'll go, yeah, I better tuck it over there this time. And I'll just put that right here. And I need the other one coming out from down here, I think. Yeah. This one I'm actually going to use hot glue because I got to tuck it underneath the little fabric pieces that are over here. So I think that's going to do it. So I know it went fast on camera, and there was a little bit off camera I had to do, but I think that's adorable. And you could just have it set up on a table, and you could have that white spider web stuff sitting on your table and just kind of set this in the midst of it. But I think you get a lot of bang for your buck for just a real, basically less than a 12 by 12 piece of paper, a little bit of lightweight chipboard, a little felt bat. Just dig through your stash, go to Dollar Tree, the broom, cup of flowers, and voila. So whenever you have a frame and it's old or it breaks, keep the back. You never know when you're going to need it. Again, improvise if you don't. I would cut out 4 pieces of chipboard, same size, so that you can put 2 in the center and have the other 2 hanging off the edge here. You can either make them the same size, or you could make them like a gate, and at the top go ahead and angle, make them like sharp point, and paint or cover them with paper. Then again, you would need to put a rectangular chipboard piece on the top, and then you would have the same idea. So, all right, that was number 3 of Sandy's 13 Frights Before Halloween. Stay tuned. There will be a number 4 coming next week on Monday. Happy haunting, everybody.